Hey, what's up, everybody? I just want to take a few minutes to show the most recent project that I've been working on. Somebody in the local forum had to kind of up and move across country, and they had this project that they'd started on, so I got a pretty good deal on it. Uh, Basically, I ended up getting a 55-gallon aquarium, which was brand new, so I had like stickers on it and whatnot. They had started on the background, so I guess you could kind of call it a failed or just a stopped project that was only halfway done. There was no substrate or false bottom or any of that going on, but they did make a canopy for it with lighting. They did have a stand for it, and I ended up getting the tank, the stand, the canopy, the substrate mix, the halfway done background, and the lighting, all for a grand total of $75. So I'd say I won out on that pretty well. Currently, I'm housing Phelsuma Klemmeri, if that's how you pronounce it, or neon day geckos. Got the only one in here right now is right here, and you might see him walking around throughout the little video. Gonna get more of these guys. They're really awesome, highly active, very colorful. Do not get skittish. They don't care when you walk by the enclosure. They're just out and about. They're pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm really digging them. Anyway, how I have it set up, I do have a false bottom. I do have a ABG style terrarium mix. There are isopods. Currently I have dwarf whites and I have springtails in there. I will be adding some clown isopods eventually. Actually getting the colony this week, but I'm gonna let them breed out for a little while until I get a couple hundred before I introduce any in here, in case there are some casualties that get picked on by the geckos, which I don't think I'll have to worry about it. They are a lot bigger than typical isopods, and these geckos are smaller than most geckos. But the aquariums, or the terrariums, made up of plants that I got at a local shop, which is called Sam's Flying Frog Ranch here in Jacksonville. It's a pretty nice little shop, kind of old schoolish, which is neat. The guy has a lot of stuff in there, has a good wealth of knowledge, has some pretty good supplies, both hard goods and plants and whatnot. But really enjoy going over there to his shop and checking it out. But basically what we got going on here, just a 55-gallon long. I don't know why the guy that I got it from decided that he wanted to use a 55-gallon for his terrarium build, because there's no front opening access, which has proved to be quite difficult to deal with, but I've found ways around it and I've managed. When I originally got this, I just had glass lids cut for the top, but the problem with that was humidity, right? So I had too much condensation building up, couldn't see anything inside, couldn't get it to dry out any. So I ended up cutting the glass smaller and then making my own screen tops to make up for the rest of it, which I'll go ahead and show y'all real quick. So I have glass in the front, which are drilled for Miss King system, which I have yet to do, but I will be doing that eventually. And then I have screen in the back. This side is going to be inaccessible, but I have it taped and sealed off completely just to make sure that those little tiny geckos can't get out. Over here, fortunately, this was built to tight enough tolerances that there is no cracks for them to get out of. You can see where I have a little fogger line coming in, and that's really more for the aesthetic of having it than it is functionality. Although these guys do like a humid environment, I do mist it in the mornings. I do mist it in the late in the afternoon, not quite in the evening. I let it dry out some before we turn the lights off. So his humidity levels are kept where they should be. It's a pretty neat little setup. I do have some better lighting coming. What's in there currently is just some shop lights with 5500K bulbs, but I have the Vivarium Electronics 48-inch light configuration coming in with a plant grow light. And then I also have the, what was that called? The Shade Dweller series coming in from Arcadia. It's a 12-inch bulb that's provided for your smaller species that like to get higher up in the canopies. So these geckos would be perfect for that, because they're going to be up nice and close to those bulbs, so you don't want too much sunlight exposure, essentially, or too much UVB. So it's a kind of a reduced UVB bulb, but I will have that set up over here in the next week or two when it shows up. It's supposed to be here in a couple days. In the canopy, I also added some computer fans for circulation. So you see them up here, and they are super quiet. They are AC Infinities. I got them off of Amazon for, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks a piece, something like that. And I just have two of them. And basically I will run the misting, and within probably 10 to 15 minutes, the glass is mostly clear of any condensation buildup. So it really does a good job of doing that, keeping the bromelates drier because you don't want those to stay wet too much. And in general, it's taken a while, but I think I have a pretty good little balance going here. I've got the little gecko feeding ledges up here. And as you'll see some of these little flower tubes that I've put in, right? Those are gonna be egg laying tubes, essentially. So I've got one over there, got two over there. And eventually I'll get more of these neon day geckos. And what I'm hoping for is that they'll start reproducing. They're really cool to watch. I enjoy them. I think that the only way it gets better is to add more. So that's the goal. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up and just film for a minute, and that's it for this. I'll happily do an update video in a couple months after the good plant grow lights in here, and I have the good UVB in here. Currently, I just have one of those little mini dome kits providing a little heat and UVB, and it's sufficient for this, but I really want to get this as good as I can. All right, thanks for checking it out, and any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. This is kind of my first real vivarium build. It's been a lot of fun, and it's not going to be my last. All right, thanks for checking it out. There's going to be plenty more to come. Definitely enjoying showing some of my work off on here. You know, I get a few random kudos every once in a while. It makes you feel good about yourself, but it's also good to be able to go back and look and see some things that I've done in the past. Sometimes I scrap things entirely, and I like to have something to reference back to. These videos help with that. If they help somebody else out, then that makes me really happy as well. But there you go. This little guy is active. I just missed it, but he was running all around. He stays like this for the vast majority of the day, just all over the place. And the good news is he's got plenty of fungus gnats, which are now my mortal enemies to snack on. He's quick. He's also affectionately named Salad, courtesy of my 4-year-old. So anyway, thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.